favorite things about going to the mall is stopping by the food court and getting a nice, warm, yummy, soft pretzel. But I'm a cookie girl. As much as I love soft pretzels, I absolutely love cookies. So I had to combine the two together to create a yummy, tasty treat fusion. And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. Coming up next. Hi, I'm Diette, and welcome to Turtle's Tasty Treats, where we make baking from scratch easy. I'm really excited to share with you my chocolate chip cookie stuffed soft pretzel. Now, this pretzel is stuffed with my chocolate chip cookie dough. Now, if you want to know how to make my chocolate chip cookies, click here. Now, for my soft pretzel recipe, you're going to need the following ingredients. 1½ cups of water, 1 1/4 teaspoon of active dry yeast, 2 tablespoons of light brown sugar, 1 1/4 teaspoons of kosher salt, 1 cup of butter, 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of bread flour, and chocolate chip cookie dough. To mix my ingredients together, I'll be using my KitchenAid stand mixer fixed with my dough hook, a large bowl, a whisk, a spatula, and I'll be using my rolling pin. My oven, I'm going to preset that to 450 degrees. We're going to start by activating the yeast. We're starting with warm water, not boiling hot, because boiling hot water will kill your yeast. So taking my active dry yeast, I'm going to go ahead and add it to my water now. Next, I'm going to take 1 teaspoon of my sugar and I'm going to go ahead and add it to my yeast. Now taking my small spatula, I'm going to go ahead and mix it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and set my yeast aside. I'm going to go ahead and let it get foamy and activated. This will take about 10 minutes. Now taking my whisk, I'm going to go ahead and mix up my bread flour and my all-purpose flour together. Now I'm going to go ahead and add in the kosher salt. And let's mix it up. Time for the sweetness. I'm going to add in my sugar now. And let's mix it up. Now I'm ready to add in my dry ingredients into my bowl. Now that my yeast is active, I'm ready to go ahead and pour it into my bowl. I'm going to do it a little at a time. And now I'm going to mix it up. Taking my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and scrape down the sides of the bowl. I want to make sure that all the ingredients are fully incorporated together. And I'm not going to forget the bottom. Now I'm going to continue to mix my dough until my dough begins to wrap around my dough hook. Let's mix it up. Now I've already laid out my pastry mat. Now I'm going to take a little bit of flour and I'm going to sprinkle it onto my mat. Now I'm ready to take my dough and place it onto my pastry mat. Now I'm going to knead my dough for about 2 minutes. I know my dough is ready. ready when I'm able to push on it and it springs back. Now it's time for me to place my dough into my bowl. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some butter and I'm actually going to spread some butter into my bowl to butter it really good. Now taking my dough, I'm going to go ahead and place it into my bowl. And I'm actually going to take some butter and actually spread it on top. Now taking some cling wrap, I'm going to go ahead and cover my bowl. Now I'm ready to place this in a warm area and I'm going to let it rise for a half an hour. While my pretzel dough is rising, I'm going to create my pretzel bath. My pretzel bath is made up of 2 cups of water and 2 tablespoons of baking soda. So why does my pretzel need a bath? Well, the baking soda and the water combine for the perfect pretzel bath that will allow for my pretzels to remain chewy in the inside and have that signature pretzel crust on top. So let's put together the pretzel bath. Adding in the water, and the baking soda. Taking my spatula, I'm going to go ahead and mix the 2 together. Now I'm going to go ahead and set this aside and wait until my pretzels fully rise. Now that my dough has risen for 30 minutes, I'm ready to turn it onto my pastry mat. Taking a little bit of flour, I'm going to go ahead and spread some more flour onto my pastry mat. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my cling wrap off of my bowl, and I'm going to go ahead and turn out my dough onto my pastry mat. Just like that. Now taking my bench scraper, I'm going to go ahead and divide my dough into 4 sections. And then I'm going to place each section to the side. Now taking some flour, I'm going to go ahead and flour up my rolling pin because I don't want my dough sticking. Now I'm going to go ahead and roll out my pretzel dough. Now that my pretzel dough is rolled out, I'm ready to stuff it with my chocolate chip cookie dough. Taking my ice cream scoop, I'm going to go ahead and scoop out my chocolate chip cookie dough and place it in the middle of my pretzel dough. Now that my chocolate chip cookie dough is in the center, I'm going to go ahead and fold my pretzel dough around my chocolate chip cookie dough. And now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and begin to roll my dough. And it's actually going to stretch my dough out. So now it's time to create my pretzel shape. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cross both ends over. I'm going to twist it. And then I'm going to bring my pretzel forward. My 2 ends, I'm actually just going to tuck them underneath my pretzel. Now it's time for me to make the rest of my pretzels. And I'm going to give you a closer peek of how I do it. Now it's time to take each one of my pretzels and dip them into its pretzel bath. Once they have their bath, it's time to place them on my parchment lined baking tray. Now taking some parchment paper, I'm just going to place it on top of my baking tray, and I want to let my pretzels rise again for another 30 minutes. Now that my chocolate chip cookie dough stuffed soft pretzels has risen for 30 additional minutes, it's now time to bake them in the oven for 10 minutes. Now that my pretzels are out of the oven, I'm ready to brush them with some butter and sprinkle a little kosher salt on top. And now it's time to taste our tasty treat. Ready, Jim?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to taste it with and without cookie butter. Now, if you would like to know how to make cookie butter, then click here. It's going to take you to a video where I show you step by step how to make cookie butter. All right, Jim gets to select which one we're going to eat.
That one.
Ooh, we're going to share, Jim's going to cut it in half. Ooh. Yummy. Gonna show them inside. Yummy.
All right.
All right. Ready for without? Jim ate it before me.
That's good.
That's very good. Okay, one more bite without. Okay. With cookie butter?
All right.
Let me get another little piece.
Before cookie butter. There you go.
With the cookie butter.
This may be the best cookie pretzel I've ever had.
You heard it first. He loves it. It is quite yummy. I'll see you in the next one. And subscribe for more.